It's Daniel from UK Football Reviews, and I have a really interesting comparison between the Nike Superfly 5s and the Adidas 17 Plus PureControls. These are in a UK size 8.5, which is a US 9, and the Superflies are in the UK size 9, which is US size 10. And first of all, they're both knitted boots with essentially a collar attached to them. The collar fits in different ways, completely different ways between the both, and they feature the knitted upper. So if you compare how soft they are straight out of the box, you're going to find that the Adidas is slightly softer, but doesn't necessarily mean better. I say that purely because a boot with no laces is not the best thing to have when everybody's foot shape is different. Therefore, if you want something that will definitely fit your foot, go for the Superflies, purely because you have that lacing system and more than likely better lockdown. In fact, you do have better lockdown, because I have now tried these on, and most certainly I feel a lot more comfortable in when I would be playing with them in these than I would in the Adidas ones. So definitely think about that. You may want to go for the 17.1s if you're worried about the fitting of the boot. And in terms of sizes, the 8.5s in Adidas are more like a size 8. So in my opinion, if I would go a half size bigger than what you normally are, so a size 9 in the Adidas A17 Plus PureControls, and a half size bigger in the Nike Superflies, purely because Adidas make them smaller and the Superfly range is very narrow footed. So definitely think about that when purchasing, because if you do get a chance to try them on, I would definitely recommend them. So out of the box, as I said, the 17 Plus PureControl is a little bit softer in terms of their upper, and then going on to the sole plates, what you find is a little bit more technological advances with the Adidas model, featuring the boost inner sole as well as a boost line sole, which is probably adds to the comfort level, and it most certainly does. And one thing I should add, you get a boost inner sole with these, and you do get one normal super thin sole for if you wanted to make them slightly lighter. And of course with the Superfly you just get this standard inner sole with any Superflies. You don't get an additional one, which I believe Adidas is really praised for in terms of what you get for a top of the range boot. And in terms of getting the boots on, I find these a little bit hard to get on, purely because the system in which you have to put your foot in, it's not as stretchy as the dynamic fit collar. I think Nike really improved on the collar for the Superfly 5s. So if you want to take them on and off on a regular basis, probably Superflies are the ones to go for. And that's more of a reason to say that with these, it's a much more. It has to be a tighter fitting boot, and in all fairness, it doesn't stretch as much as I would think initially. So going on to the sole plate, what you're going to find is conical studs all around with the Adidas Ace, and a very aggressive sole plate on the Superfly, more for accelerating for probably the strikers of the game, and more for the hold-up players of the game for the Adidas Ace, such as midfielders and defenders. So if you're a striker, you may want to definitely go for the Superflies, and if you're a midfielder, you may want to go for the Adidas Ace in terms of the sole plate. But I definitely wouldn't base a decision on the sole plate. My opinion of both of them, they're both really good boots. They feature very soft uppers, and of course they're both knitted and will eventually stretch to your own foot. But in terms of what you're going to get in initial performance and throughout its lifespan, it's definitely worth going for the Superfly 5s, because if these do stretch too much, then you're going to find that not having laces is probably the biggest downside, and will have too much movement when you're, let's say, running or kicking the ball, and it's just not worth the risk, because the boots are very expensive now. So I think the Superflies are £260, but of course not in this colourway, and the Pure Controls are 250, so only £10 difference between them, and what you get from both of them is fairly similar. So definitely maybe try on both pairs before buying them if you are considering both the Superfly and the Adidas Ace, but definitely try and veer your view towards the Superflies, purely because in long-term and short-term durability, and as well as lockdown performance, you're going to find that the Superflies are probably way ahead of the Adidas Ace, because this is a fairly new prospect in terms of the football game, because laceless boots have not been around for a very long time and have a lot of time to improve. So at this current moment, laces are best. So in my opinion, the Superfly 5s get my tick, and my tick of approval. So this brings to the end of the video, guys. If you could like that, would be really appreciated. And if you want more content like this, please subscribe. I'd like to hear your comments now, because I'm really interested in what people think of my views as well as your own views. So yeah, that brings me to the end of the video, guys. Take care.